All right, rugby fans, welcome back for another deep dive. You know, the Springboks, they just dominated England to wrap up their Autumn Nation Series tour. But before we start celebrating, there's one more match. Wales in Cardiff. And Coach Rassie Erasmus, well, he's really shaken things up with his team selection for this last game.
It's a pretty smart move.
Yeah.
If you think about it, Erasmus is using this match as a testing ground. You've been following them so you can see how he's thinking about the World Cup.
Okay, so let's get into it. What's got everyone talking is that Erasmus has made 7 changes to the starting lineup.
Yeah.
And some of them are, well, they've raised some eyebrows. But the one that's got everyone buzzing is the starting halfback duo, the Hendrikse brothers, Jordan and Jaden. We haven't seen brothers together like this since Dan and Robert Dupree's back in 2018.
Yeah, the Hendrikse brothers, they bring a whole new dynamic to the field. Their synergy and understanding could lead to some really interesting plays. And, Jordan already played against Wales in June, so he knows what to expect.
But hold on a second. Aren't they a bit young to be leading the charge against a team like Wales? Especially in Cardiff. That's a ton of pressure.
And that's exactly why Erasmus is doing this. Remember those close games against Wales at the Principality Stadium? He's preparing them for the World Cup final. He's making sure they can handle the pressure.
And it's not just the halfbacks. He switched things up in the pack, too. Johan Grobbelaar is at hooker, Thomas du Toit at tight head, John Kleyn and Franco Mostert locking the scrum, and Elrie Lau is replacing Peter Steph du Toit, who's dealing with that shoulder injury.
This is where it gets really interesting. Erasmus isn't just filling spots. He's looking for weaknesses in the Welsh team. Like du Toit, he's a beast in the scrum. And Wales hasn't been doing so well there. Could this be how they break through their defense? It's risky, but it's calculated, which is classic Erasmus.
Well, we can't forget that Wales is playing at home, and they'll have all their fans cheering them on. And Erasmus himself has said how much respect he has for Wales and their coach, Warren Gatland.
Yeah, and Erasmus has talked about how unpredictable rugby can be. He even compared it to how well Australia has been doing this year. You can never underestimate your opponent, especially when they're playing at home.
It sounds like we're in for a really exciting match. A new Springboks lineup, a fired-up Welsh team, and a coach who's taking risks. Let's take a deeper look at these changes and what they could mean for the Springboks. We'll be right back after a quick break.
So let's break down those 7 changes and really see what Erasmus is planning. Starting with the Hendrikse brothers at halfback, this could seriously change how the Springboks attack.
You were saying earlier that they just get each other naturally. As a
Oh, yeah.
rugby fan, I'm curious, how could that actually play out during the match? How could that affect the team's strategy?
So think of it this way. Jaden, the scrum half, he's like the conductor. He sets the pace with his passes and his kicking. His ability to open up the field is really important. And then you add Jordan at fly half with his vision and his creativity. And suddenly you've got the potential for some incredible plays.
I can see it now. Quick passes, daring runs, maybe even some of those offloads that leave the defenders wondering what just happened. But Wales is known for their tough defense. Do you think the Hendrikse brothers can handle it? With not much experience playing together like this.
That's the question, isn't it? But sometimes pressure is what you need to shine. Erasmus definitely believes in them, and he isn't afraid to take a chance. They might just surprise everyone with how well they play under pressure.
We'll have to see. But let's talk about the forwards. There are big changes there,
Wow.
too.
Johan Grobbelaar at hooker. He brings something different to the pack. He's known for moving around a lot and working hard all over the field, especially at the breakdown.
So we could see the Springboks stopping Wales's attacks and then turning that into their own attack.
Exactly. And then there's Thomas du Toit at tight head. He's a real force in the scrum. And this is where it gets interesting for you Springboks fans. Remember how Wales has been struggling in the scrum? Du Toit could take advantage of that and really put them in a tough spot.
And let's not forget about Jean Kleyn and Franco Mostert locking the scrum. They're strong and they've got the experience. Think they could overpower the Welsh pack.
Well, the Welsh pack is no joke. But Kleyn and Mostert are a tough duo. They could control those set pieces, which
Right.
would give the Springboks a big advantage.
And then we have El Railu taking over for Peter Steph du Toit. That's not easy.
Definitely not. But Lou's been playing great for the Bulls, and he's had some amazing moments on the international stage. He's a powerful runner, and he wants to score.
Okay, so it sounds like Erasmus is going for a balanced but aggressive game plan against Wales.
That's it. He wants to control the set pieces, disrupt Wales's game, and then unleash a really dynamic attack.
And then there's Cameron Hanekom, who's going to make his debut. It's always exciting to see new players, but is he ready for a match this intense against Wales?
Erasmus must see something special in him. Hanekom can play in different positions, which is a big plus in a match like this. This debut shows how committed Erasmus is to developing young talent.
So new players. a new game plan in the works. But let's not forget about Wales. Even with their recent losses, they're a serious threat at home. What are the biggest challenges for the Springboks in this match?
You're right. Even though they've been struggling, Wales is known for stepping up, especially at the Principality Stadium. Those fans are like an extra player. They're loud and they're passionate.
Yeah, that Welsh crowd can be intimidating.
For sure. The Springboks need to stay focused and not let that atmosphere get to them.
And we can't forget that Wales has a new coaching staff. They'll want to prove themselves and get the team back on track.
Exactly. That makes things even harder to predict. The Springboks can't think this will be easy. They need to be ready for a fight.
So we've got a Springboks team with a new energy, a Wales team that's dangerous at home, and a coach who's willing to take risks. What are you most excited to see in this match?
For me, it's all about those big questions. Can the Hendrikse brothers handle the pressure and create some magic in attack? Will those changes in the pack give the Springboks control? And can they quiet that Welsh crowd and win in Cardiff?
So many things could happen. This match shows how the Springboks are always evolving. They always want to get better and adapt. It's rugby at its best. Two different styles, a test of strategy and a battle of pure passion.
When you watch the match, remember everything we've talked about, the tactics, the individual players, the history, and the rivalry? It's more than just a game. It's a story.
And you, the fans, are part of that story, so enjoy every minute of it. And tell us what you think. Who's going to win?
We want to hear your predictions.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the individual matchups. That could really make a difference in this Wales Springboks clash. I'm really curious to see how the Hendrikse brothers, our new halfback duo, do against the Welsh defense. I mean, that's going to be brutal.
Yeah, Wales is known for putting on the pressure. They'll be right on Jordan Hendrikse at fly half, trying to force him into making mistakes. He's got to stay calm under pressure. If the Springboks want to win.
It's a real trial by fire.
Right.
He's talented, but can he handle playing in Cardiff? What do you think?
It'll show what he's made of. And I think that's what Erasmus wants. Remember, he's thinking about the future. This kind of experience is so important. And don't forget about Jaden at scrum half. He's going up against Thomas Williams. He's a veteran, and he's really good at those sneaky runs.
Oh, man, Thomas Williams. He's tough to handle. He's got a knack for finding those gaps in the defense, even the smallest ones.
That's it. Jaden's going to have to be really sharp on defense. He's got to read the play and make those tackles. This matchup could decide how the whole game goes.
No, let's talk about the forwards. That's where the real power is. With all the changes in the Springbok pack, I'm interested to see how they do in the scrum against Wales.
The scrum is always a battle, and this one could be huge. Adding Thomas du Toit at tight head brings a lot of power to the Springbok scrum. He's going up against Wyn Jones, and Wyn Jones knows what he's doing.
It's a clash of the Titans. Du Toit's got the strength, but Wyn Jones has the experience. What do you think, Springboks fans? Can they win the scrum and put pressure on Wales?
It's strength against experience. If the Springboks can dominate the scrum, they'll have a great chance to attack. But Wales won't give up easily.
And what about the lineouts? They're important for getting the ball and starting those attacks.
You're right. The Springboks have a solid lineout with Franco, Mostert, and Kleyn in the second row. They'll be going against Adam Beard and Will Rowlands from Wales. They're a tough pair, too. This battle for the ball could be a turning point.
It's like a chess match with those jumps and throws.
Yeah.
Every inch counts. Let's talk about the breakdown. It's where things can get really intense.
The breakdown, that's where you see the real heart. Both teams are known for their physicality there. You've got guys like Elray Lowe and Jasper Wise for the Springboks going up against Justin Pierick and Talupe Filito for Wales.
Every bit of ground is going to be a fight. Turnovers at the breakdown can change everything.
Definitely. And then there's the benches. Both teams have some players who can really make a difference. The Springboks have Malcolm Marks and Andre Pollard, and Wales has Gareth Davies and Rhys Patchell. Those substitutions can change the game.
It's like a whole new strategy coming in. Fresh players and new ideas. So before we finish up this deep dive, let's hear from you, our listener. You're a rugby fan. You've been following this story. What's caught your attention? What are you excited to see in this Wales Springboks match?
It all comes down to those big questions. Can the Hendrikse brothers handle the pressure and lead a strong attack? Will the changes in the pack give the Springboks an advantage? And can they win in Cardiff with that loud Welsh crowd?
It's going to be exciting. This match shows how the Springboks are always changing and getting better. It's what makes rugby so great. Different style, strategy, and a ton of passion.
When you watch the match, think about what we've talked about. The tactics, the individual players, the history between these teams. It's more than just a game. It's a story unfolding.
And you, the fans, are a part of it. So enjoy the match and let us know what you think. Who do you think will win? We want to hear your predictions.
Until next time, keep that passion for rugby alive, and may the best team win.
That's all for today.